Hey guys, this is Moriarty.
And this is Brax.
And today we're taking a look at Sniper Ghost Warrior 3, which comes out in April, and this is the early release. The sniper games are really popular for a lot of different reasons, but mostly I think they're popular because of the gifts that came out of it, where you can shoot off various snipers' lower extremities.
Ah, yes. How interesting is that?
It's definitely something that I've never done in any other game. I'm okay with being able to experience that.
Yeah, I think it's a nice little perk, a little extra there for sure.
It definitely makes shooting your sniper rifle a lot more interesting. But that's probably what this game is most known for. It is a much more realistic sniper style game where you are going to be spending most of your time sneaking around, trying not to get noticed by anybody, trying to use as much silence as possible in order to take out your target.
Absolutely, and I think that is more alive than ever in this one. The first few minutes that I played through it, I immediately realized that I definitely needed to sneak around more because I died pretty quickly when I was trying to go in and acting like Rambo.
Not a game that you're going to Rambo in, but it's still a lot of fun, and it's definitely neat to spend a little bit more time being tactical. There are a lot of games where my favorite level in the entire game is the sniper level.
Absolutely. Call of Duty Modern Warfare.
Exactly. Immediately everybody thinks of Call of Duty, and they think of the map where you're playing in the ghillie suits. It's also one of the more well-designed maps and missions in the entire Call of Duty game history. Definitely one of the more exciting ones, simply because of how you're playing it. Though, in this game, if you're spotted, it doesn't instantly stop the game and force you to replay.
Yeah, very true.
It felt a little Far Cry to me as soon as I started up the game, driving around. It's a lot more open world, but it's not a completely open world. You do have targets, and you do need to take them out, and the driving is pretty realistic as well.
It's funny that you say that. Immediately when I got into the truck, I said this is definitely Far Cry. The truck drives identical to the vehicles in Far Cry, and it just feels the same. It really does, and the way that the mechanics work and everything when you are driving.
Which makes perfect sense as well, because this is CryEngine.
Yeah, absolutely.
And CryEngine is really good. It's a pretty looking engine, and it's got some cool physics in it. So it makes sense that you'll feel that kind of Far Cry feeling as soon as you open it up. But there are differences. There's no outposts that you need to go take out every single person in and set free the tiger and let him eat people.
Oh yeah, definitely.
It's also got a lot of stuff in it. There are all sorts of weapons, all sorts of different types of bullets. I think when I was looking through it, there's something like 20 different bullets that you can load into a gun, which is pretty extreme when you think about it.
Right, the customization was one thing that sold me early on. You have the weapons cache that you pick your weapons from, and then you have a workbench, right, that lets you create the ammunition and get really nitty gritty with the customization of everything. I thought that was super cool.
Of course, there is a skill tree. What game would be complete without a skill tree?
Especially in 2017, we need one of those, right?
Oh, you have to. If you don't have a skill tree, man, what are you ever going to do? All of the skills, as you go through them, you start realizing that they will make you a super badass by the time you've filled it out.
Oh, for sure.
You can see people, you can see where they're aiming. You're basically invisible when you're walking, when you're running. I mean, it gets pretty intense. I can imagine that once you take this game all the way out, you're going to be able to do some very nasty stuff. And that's super exciting to me.
Yeah, I think it has a lot of playability because of that. That's one thing I noticed when I first booted it up and I started playing, that just looking through the skill tree, that I'm like, hey, there's a lot of stuff I can do here. This can be a game that I can spend hours, just making myself better and doing really cool stuff. Especially imagine if you had already beaten the game and you want to go back through and just destroy stuff.
All of the missions are kind of the same sort of thing that you would expect from any sort of game like this. Kill somebody, find something.
Yeah.
There's optional missions as well. When you go to kill somebody, you might be told to go pick up a drone, and then you have to go find the drone. And typically speaking, what happens in these games is those optional missions will either help you to complete the overall objective, or alternatively, they will put you in a good position to complete the objective. For the very first mission that you're going to receive, at least in the beta, who knows where in the actual game we're playing, you're asked to retrieve a lost drone. You're also asked to kill somebody. If you go retrieve the drone, it will put you in the perfect location to look in a window and see the guy.
I didn't know that at first, so once I actually did get the drone, I said, oh, this is why they want me to have the drone. It makes killing the target easier.
As long as you continue to play like that, and as long as you say, okay, I'm willing to take the time to go the long way and not alert all of the enemies, then you're going to find that the game is actually not that difficult. It's certainly a hell of a lot easier than actually going out into the bush and trying to kill somebody.
For sure, at first I thought that it was difficult, and then I realized that if you do things in a particular way, okay, this game isn't as hard as I was making it out to be, right? And you know, one comparison that I started to make that I did not expect to was Metal Gear Solid 5, because of what we were discussing about having the optional things that happen with the drone and those little side ops and those sorts of things. And you really have to take a lot of strategy into account when you do try to take out your marks or your enemies. In that way, I did feel a little bit of Metal Gear Solid 5, and I did not expect that to happen. So that was a pleasant surprise.
Granted, there's not a whole lot of gameplay available to us at this particular point, but everything that I was able to play is solid. It's fun, it's got a really good feel, and I enjoyed playing it. It's one of the few games that I've played in a while where I said I would absolutely 100% buy this with my own money, even knowing that when it comes out it's going to be $50 or $60.
Right, I think solid is a great word to describe it. Now, I'm not sure if I'm willing to go as far as you and say I'm ready to pay $50 or $60 for it just yet. But again, this is a beta, right? I don't know anything yet, but I think I could. I think I could see myself spending that sort of money on it because it is promising. And so far, I've had a lot of fun playing what is available.
Now, one of the things that I didn't like so much about it, because there's always going to be something bad, is it uses the exact same sort of detection system that you have in Far Cry, which I assume at this point is just built into their engine. And so what you end up having is the very, very familiar round white circles showing up in the corner whenever somebody sees you. I would have liked them maybe to not tell me so much.
I agree completely. Did you also notice that when your enemies are alerted or they are looking for you, there's that little small white cursor, and you can see that cursor through walls, and it makes it really easy to tell where your enemy is and what direction they're coming from. Altogether, I think a fun game so far. From what I've seen, I would recommend it for sure.
So there you go, guys. That's Sniper Ghost Warrior 3. I think it's pretty neat. If you like it, like it. If you don't like it, don't like it. Be sure to check out the Patreon and subscribe, and leave us a comment. Let us know what you think. Does this look like the kind of sniper game that maybe you've been waiting for? Is there any other sniper games that you think maybe outclass it? Let us know in the comments.
And don't forget to join the weekly contest, and we will see you guys on the next one.